Welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping right into a really fascinating problem at the absolute heart of artificial intelligence. Basically, how do computers actually handle the total messiness of human communication? I mean, think about it. Have you ever texted someone, "I'm on my way," and your phone autocorrects it to, "I'm on my walrus"? Or, tried explaining Gen Z slang to your grandparents? When we talk or text, we are constantly breaking grammatical rules, throwing in weird idioms, or just being incredibly vague. And yet, our machines, our search engines, our translation tools, the whole shebang, are somehow learning to process and understand us. So how is that even possible?
It's a great question, right? Just imagine a machine trying to decode your late-night, typo-ridden text messages. Human language doesn't follow strict, unbending mathematical laws. It's fluid, it's messy, it's constantly evolving. Because of this baked-in uncertainty, computers literally cannot rely on dictionary-perfect certainty. If they did, they'd just crash every single time you made a typo or used a totally new phrase. So instead of panicking, they play the odds.
Okay, let's dive into this. A probabilistic model solves this exact problem. It applies probability theory to represent the uncertainty of natural language. So instead of throwing a giant error code just because a word doesn't fit a rigid rule, the model calculates the likelihood of a few different interpretations, and then it simply picks the most probable one. It's basically doing the complex math required to make the absolute best possible guess based on the available evidence.
To really get this, let's look at how things used to be done. Back in the early days of natural language processing, engineers tried using rigid, deterministic programming rules. They'd code logic like, if word X follows word Y, it must always mean Z. But well, if a machine assumes the word bark always means a dog, it totally breaks down the second you start talking about a tree. You just end up with an endless, impossible list of exceptions. The modern approach, though, it completely flips the script. We've moved away from absolute rigid rules and fully embraced fluid likelihoods and probabilities. It's a real game changer that makes these models incredibly resilient.
So what do these probabilistic models actually look like out in the wild? Well, here are 4 major examples used in NLP today. First up, there's the naive Bayes classifier. This is a foundational workhorse, mostly used for document classification tasks. Next is the hidden Markov model, or HMM, which is absolutely essential for sequence labeling, things like tagging parts of speech. Then we've got the conditional random field, or CRF. That's a super powerful undirected graphical model, also used for complex sequence labeling. And finally, latent Dirichlet allocation, or LDA, which is just a brilliant tool for topic modeling when you need to pull themes out of massive piles of documents.
Deep dive, hidden Markov models. Now, we could easily spend an entire explainer on each of those 4, but today we really want to peek under the hood. So we're going to focus on just one, the hidden Markov model. Getting how an HMM works is like getting a master key to how machines process sequential data. Formally, a hidden Markov model is a generative probabilistic sequence model that assumes the system is a Markov process with unobserved or hidden states. Now, what's really interesting about this is that word unobserved. The entire point of the model is to figure out something that's hidden from plain view based entirely on the external clues it can actually observe.
It's all about this duality between the seen and the unseen. Think of a sentence kind of like a play. The observations are the actors out on the stage. These are the actual words we see, read, and hear, our literal vocabulary. But behind the curtain, pulling the strings, are the hidden states. In natural language processing, those hidden states are usually grammatical tags, like whether a word is acting as a noun, a verb, an adjective. You get the idea. The machine sees the actors on stage, but it needs a mathematical way to uncover those hidden tags operating backstage.
To pull that off, the model relies on a very specific formal architecture. Let's keep that feeder metaphor going to make sense of the variables here. First, we have S, the hidden states. Again, these are the backstage roles like noun or verb. Then V, the observations, our literal actors, the words. Next up is pi. Think of pi as the chance that our play opens with a specific character taking the stage first. Then we've got A, the transition probabilities. This is the odds of one character following another. Like, what are the chances a verb walks on stage immediately after a noun? And lastly, B, the omission probabilities. Simply put, this is the odds of an actor speaking a specific word while wearing a specific noun or verb costume. When you think of it like this, these matrices just beautifully connect what we can see to what's hidden. And this brilliantly illustrates how the theoretical architecture is actually applied to solve real-world problems. HMMs generally tackle 3 core tasks. First is evaluation, where we use the forward-backward algorithm. Think of this as zooming out and calculating the overall probability that this exact sequence of words would ever happen. Second is decoding. This one's absolutely vital. We use the Viterbi algorithm here. Imagine Viterbi as a detective working backward from the evidence to find the most logical sequence of hidden tags for the words we're looking at. And third is learning. Because how does the model figure out all those transition and emission probabilities in the first place? Well, it uses the Baum-Welch algorithm to train those matrices by constantly observing patterns in the data over time.
Which brings us to a pretty profound final thought for today's explainer. If natural language processing at its very core relies on models like the hidden Markov model, if it really is all just a sophisticated series of probabilities, matrices, and calculated best guesses based on training data, is the machine ever truly certain about what we mean? Or is it simply playing the mathematical odds of human expression? It's definitely something to chew on as we keep building and interacting with machines that talk to us every single day. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Keep exploring, and I'll catch you next time.